Hello YouTube, this is Princess Anti-Sheeple Pleaser. Um, I know I ain't made videos in like the longest period of time, but I have school, I have SAT, ACT, ASVAB, and I was just accepted into Upward Bound, so like I have stuff to do. They expect more of me, and I have a lot of community service things to do also because I'm in JROTC. Um, I found I'm going to make an Untold True Story. I've been doing a lot of Untold Truths. Um, and today's Untold Truth is the real story of Thanksgiving. Um, I'm going to be reading two articles today. One is The Real Story of Thanksgiving by Susan Bates, and the Manateka American Indian Council. The second one is by HuffPost, if you ever heard of them, by Nicole Breedlove, and the article is titled Happy National Genocide Day, Thanksgiving Day. This was made in 2014. Let me see when this other article was made. This article it doesn't have a date where it's made, so I'm guessing it's a really old article. Wait, I found a date. This article was made in 1986, so this is an old article. So let me scroll up and let me start. This is a long article. I might read it all, I might not. So let me go. The Real Story of Thanksgiving by Susan Bates. Most of us associate the holiday with happy pilgrims and Indians sitting down for a big feast. That did once happen. The story began in 1614 when a band of English explorers sailed home to England with a ship full of Patuxent Indians bound for slavery. Left behind, smallpox which virtually wiped out those who had escaped. By the time pilgrims arrived to Massachusetts Bay, they found only one living Patuxent Indian, a man named Squattataw, who survived slavery in England and knew their language. He taught them how to grow corn and to fish and to negotiate a peace treaty between pilgrims and the Wampanoag Nation. At the end of their first year, the pilgrims held a great feast honoring the Squato and the Wampangs. But as word spread in England about the paradise to be found in the New World, religious zealots, Puritans, began arriving by the boatload. Finding no fences around the land, they considered it to be a public domain. Joined by other British settlers, they seized the land, capturing strong young natives for slaves and killing the rest. But the Pequot nation had not agreed to the peace treaty Squato had negotiated, and they fought back. The Pequot War was one of the bloodiest Indian wars ever fought. In 1937, near present-day Groton, Connecticut, over 700 men, women, and children of the Pequot tribe had gathered for their annual Green Corn Festival, which is our Thanksgiving celebration. In the pre-dawn hours, the sleeping Indians were surrounded by English and Dutch mercenaries who ordered them to come outside. Those who came out were shot or clubbed to death, while the terrified women and children who huddled inside the longhouse were burned alive. The next day, the governor of Massachusetts Bay Colony declared it a Thanksgiving because 700 unarmed men, women, and children had been murdered. Cheered by their victory, the brave colonists and their Indian allies attacked the village after village. Women and children over 14 were sold into slavery, while the rest were murdered. Boatloads with many as 500 slaves were regularly left the ports of England. Bounties were paid for Indian scalps to encourage as many deaths as possible, following an especially successful raid against the Pequot in what is now Stamford, Connecticut. The churches announced the second day of Thanksgiving to celebrate the victory of the heathen savages. During the feasting, hacked off the heads of natives were kicked through the streets like soccer balls. So they decapitated these people, our people, and they kicked their heads around like they were some soccer balls. And we celebrate Thanksgiving every day. Did you not hear what I just said? These people created Thanksgiving to celebrate how they killed hundreds, thousands maybe, of us on this day. But we celebrate it every day. And Christians, some Christians, I'm not saying all Christians, but most of them get mad if you don't celebrate Thanksgiving. I have friends that celebrate Thanksgiving. That's one holiday they like to celebrate along with Christmas, but they don't even know what's behind it. It's definitely not thanks. It was a whole massacre of people being killed for no reason. And even in this article, they're saying they were unarmed. We've been getting killed for years unarmed. Man, this we don't celebrate Thanksgiving, but what we do on this day is eat a lot of food. But we don't celebrate national holidays like that. Like Christmas would be present day for us. You only get stuff if you earned it. Thanksgiving just an excuse to get out of school. That is all it is to me anyway. But let me continue. One pug did not escape the madness. Their chief was beheaded, and his head was impaled on a pole in Plymouth, Massachusetts, where it remained on display for 24 years. The killings became more and more frenzied, with days of Thanksgiving feasts being held after each successful massacre. George Washington finally suggested that only one day of Thanksgiving per year would be set aside instead of celebrating each and every massacre. Later, Abraham Lincoln decreed Thanksgiving to be a legal national holiday during the Civil War. On the same day, he ordered troops to march against the starving Sioux in Minnesota. Abraham Lincoln was a freaking people worship Abraham Lincoln because he supposedly freed us from slavery. But like, this man knew that these people were being killed, and he made it legal to celebrate this every freaking year, knowing what was behind it. Abraham Lincoln wasn't stupid. They told him what was going on. But let me continue. This story doesn't quite have the same fuzzy feelings associated with it as one where the Indian pilgrims were all sitting down together in a big feast. But we need to learn our true history so it won't ever be repeated. Next Thanksgiving, when you gather with your loved ones to thank God for all your blessings, think about those people who only wanted to live their lives and raise their families, and they also took the time out to say thank you to the Creator for all their blessings. Well, that was the first article, and let's go over to HuffPost. Happy National Genocide Day, Thanksgiving. In 1637, the body of a white man was discovered dead in a boat. Armed settlers, which we tell our children were God-fearing, gentle, sharing, kind pilgrims, invaded a Pequot village. They set the village, which included many children, on fire. Okay, I'm gonna have to go back and forth with this one. Thanksgiving has never been a celebratory holiday in my family. Whenever my family did cook, we gave thanks that all the Native Americans weren't wiped out when Columbus discovered America. Okay, Columbus did not discover America. I'm tired of this junk. Columbus never discovered America. He didn't even hit America. What he did hit was he hit an island. He didn't discover America. Cause if that was the case, we would have all been dead. Like, America was filled with just us, just colored people. He wasn't able to reach that. He reached an island and decided to call them Indians, and they weren't. He didn't hit India or anything. That's why they were called Indians. But it was us. Like, we ruled the land. We had so much land. They wouldn't have. All they would have to do is kill us. Like, they made guns to kill us. These people didn't have any weapons. They just went in there, burnt the whole town down. 700 people. The first genocide they ever did, they killed 700 people. And then they just kept killing and kept killing until they got the land that they wanted. And as you notice, I don't call myself African American. I've called myself copper colored. Because we don't even look like we from Africa. We look like we are a whole different race. And I believe we are a whole different race. Because Africans in Africa, they don't claim us. We don't even have the same facial structure as the people in Africa, and people probably like, oh, well, maybe our face changed over time. It's no way. Our whole entire face structure just changed over time. I'm still trying to get why they're trying to say we came from monkeys. We ain't come from no dang monkeys. The heck? But anyway, let me continue reading this. I never understood why my family was so against Thanksgiving. In school, we drew turkeys with our hands. It was a happy time. It meant a Thanksgiving. Wait. It meant a couple of days off of school. My teachers made it seem like Thanksgiving was a holiday. Yeah, I'm gonna have to click back and forth because I had to make the article small to get these both on the same thing. I made it bigger. Okay. Um, my teachers made it seem Thanksgiving was the holiday to look forward to. The New York City public education system told me of what Thanksgiving was all about. It was very careful, regurgitate what they taught me when tested, so I wouldn't get a failing grade. When I was older, though, I was told the truth by my family. My great 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 grandfather was a part of a band of black Indians in Florida, hence my unique Native American sounding last name. It seemed I come from a long line of warriors, activists. I'm a revolutionary, not by choice, by lineage. When I finally learned, there was no stopping me. Whenever someone asked what I was doing for Thanksgiving, I proudly stated that I no longer celebrated. Thanksgiving should be known as a National Land Theft and American Genocide Day. I learned that in 1637, the body of a white man was discovered dead in a boat. Armed settlers, which we tell our children are God-fearing, gentle, sharing, kind pilgrims, invaded the Pequot village, and they also set the village, which included many children, on fire. Those who were lucky enough to escape the fires were systematically sought, hunted down, and killed, while many, including historians, still debate what exactly happened this day, also known as the Pequot Massacre. It directly led to the creation of Thanksgiving. This is what Governor Bay Colony had to say days after the massacre, a day of Thanksgiving, thanking God that they eliminated over 700 men and women and children. William B. Naywell, Penobscot Indian and former chairman of the Anthropology Department at the University of Connecticut, stated, gathered in this place of meeting, they were attacked by mercenaries in English and Dutch. The Indians were ordered from buildings, and as they came forth, were shot down. The rest were burned alive in the building. The very next day, the governor declared a Thanksgiving Day. For the next 100 years, every Thanksgiving ordained by a governor was in honor of a bloody victory, thanking God the battle had been won. When I finally found out the origins of Thanksgiving, it made me nauseous. Never again will I celebrate a holiday I know nothing about until I investigate its origins. I am very thankful, pun intended, that I learned about the origins of this holiday. It is a reminder that history can be rewritten if told enough times, eventually becomes the truth. People always tell me to forget the past. I should just let it go and move on. Why do people of color always have to forget? Would you tell a Jewish person to forget about the Holocaust and just move on? Would you tell the family of those who lost their lives in 9/11 to just forget about it? So why are our tragedies forgettable? Others are not. I will never forget. I always honor those who lost their lives unjustifiably. So when you sit down to dinner this year, look at your family, serve the food, and tell others what you are most thankful for. Think about the origins of Thanksgiving. Think about the countless Native Americans who lost their lives. So you can carve the turkey and get the best deals on Black Friday. Say a prayer for them, especially the children who died simply because the color of their skin. Alright guys, I'm gonna give my opinion on it. So in this article, it tells them basically that it was us that died, colored, but they called us Indians, but we're from America. This is our land. I really don't care what my history books say. I always end up coming back and telling my mom what my history books end up saying. But I only agree with the things they say on that history textbook so I can get a freaking grade, because that's the only way you can get a grade, especially in America. Is you need your history classes, you need your math classes, you need your reading classes. Even if it's complete bullcrap, you still have to listen to what they have to say about it. I knew that Thanksgiving was a genocide. I actually watched the YouTube video about Thanksgiving, and it really creeped me out. But at the same time, we celebrating our ancestors' death, because that's what they are. They're our ancestors. Our ancestors died on Thanksgiving. 700 unarmed men, women, children. If you add up 700 plus 700 plus 700, let me calculate that. Let me give me a calculator right quick to tell you how many people actually died that day, because people be looking over stuff, I swear. Okay, I got my calculator. So 700 men plus 700 women plus 700 children. 2,100 people died on Thanksgiving. From these calculations, I would show you in a picture, but I don't really show my face like that. I might show my face on my mom's channel, but I don't show my face, so I really can't show you the calculations. But 2,100 people died on this day, and we celebrated. Well, I don't celebrate. Not everybody celebrated, but majority of the people in this world celebrated every single year. And that's sad. At least to me it is. It really is. It was sad to hear. And what they said in this article is true. You can look up this article. It's by www. Huffington Post. Thanksgiving Pequot Massacre. Yeah. My nose is stuffy. I was sick for 3 days, and I'm still trying to get niggas out. I'm not trying to take no black seed oil right now, cause that's what my mom usually gives me. But that junk is nasty. And I do have another video coming out for y'all today. And it's going to be the truth about Halloween. A lot of people like to celebrate Halloween, and we don't celebrate it. We just eat the candy, I guess. If I get candy, I eat it, but we don't celebrate no holidays like that. Cause most of these hot national holidays that's be out here like that, man, they be having some messed up stories. some messed up freaking stories. But bye YouTube. I hope you enjoy your day. I'll see you in a few after editing this video. Bye YouTube.